everyone, this is Shotzi for the Rough Cuts on Sunday. I hope you all have had a great week. As some of you know, this month on Turner Classic Movies, they are celebrating the films of Japanese director Akira Kurosawa. And today I'm going to review one of his movies called High and Low, also known as Heaven and Hell. This movie was released in 1963 and it stars Toshiro Mifune, who collaborated with Kurosawa on several movies, anywhere between like 16 to 19. I'm not positive on how many because I've heard different numbers from different sources, but somewhere between there, either 16 or 19. The story is based on the novel King's Ransom by Ed McBain, and you have a very successful businessman played by Mifune, whose character's name is Gondo, and he is trying to gain control of the company that he began because his business partners want to increase their profits, but by doing so, they're going to sacrifice the quality of the work that they've been producing. So Gondo wants to gain control of the company so he can save their company's work. And then shortly after this, he raises 50 million yen in order to gain control of the company, but by doing so, he's basically mortgaged absolutely everything that he owns. He doesn't even own the clothes that he's wearing at that point in time. And so that evening, his son and his chauffeur's son are outside playing, and a kidnapper calls them to tell him that his son has just been kidnapped. So of course he's freaking out, but then his son runs into the house, and that's when we realize it's his chauffeur's son that was kidnapped by mistake. But the kidnapper is still demanding 30 million yen, which is a huge amount at the time, and it's still a huge amount today. So he's faced with the dilemma of, does he basically face financial ruin of all of the years of hard work that he's put into this company, building it up, and also losing everything, his home, everything, to save the life of this child? Or does he use the money that he's just raised and worked a long time to raise in order to gain control of the company that he's basically nurtured from the beginning? So that's the dilemma that he has to face. And he goes through a lot of trouble figuring out what to do. But once he does, then the movie just really takes off from there. It's a little slow in the beginning, but this movie, it's a long movie. It's almost 2.5 hours long, but the pacing of it is really well done. Character development is amazing, really good acting. You also have Takashi Shimura in this, who has been in a multitude of Kurosawa films. And you may also recognize Tetsuya Mihashi in this, who's playing the secretary, who is just basically a backstabber, we find out. And he was in the movie What's Up, Tiger Lily, that Woody Allen directed in 1966. So that's a lot of fun, too, just to kind of see him. But this movie, it shows a lot of dark aspects of Japan. You see the slums, and you also see, like, this, actually it's not really a beautiful house, but it's a big house that's up on top of the hill, looking down onto the slums. So you really see the dichotomy of the wealthy and the poor and unfortunate. And so that you see a lot of that in this movie. That's a really strong theme going through this movie. It's a great movie. I consider it to be one of Kurosawa's best. And if you get a chance, you definitely check out his movies or Turner Classic Movies this month on Tuesdays. I want to mention another movie that I tried to see today at South by Southwest called Marwencol, but because of seeing one of my friends' bands performing, and by the time that we got there, it had already completely overflowed, so there were over capacity, we couldn't get in. But the director of the movie, John Malmberg, and also the producer, Chris Shellen, they gave me this book, Welcome to Marwencol, and this is basically photo references of the photographs that Mark Hogenkamp had done for this movie. The premise of this is a documentary. It won Best Documentary at South by Southwest this year, And this man, he was severely beaten many years ago, and his brain was damaged. So he started creating this whole little town out of characters that he had made to help with his hand-eye coordination. But when he would take like photographs of these, he was discovered as well as his photographs. And so they were put in a gallery in New York, and he gained more and more recognition. And so that's when they got the idea of doing a documentary on his life. So he's at a crossroads as to whether or not he wants to stay within this world that he's created, or if he wants to join the real world that he's been trying to avoid. So, like, these books are actually for sale, and the proceeds go to support him as well as his family. So definitely, if you get a chance to see this documentary, go see it. Everyone that I know who got to see it has absolutely loved it. It's been a really big success here. And like the director, producer, they're both really good people, really cool people. So definitely give that a look. And they have a website, marwencol.com. So it's 2 movies you should check out. Also, this is playing in Cleveland, I believe, in a couple of weeks. So check out Marwencol if you can. Also, check out High and Low and any of the Kurosawa movies. They're playing on Turner Classic Movies this month on Tuesdays. So, I will see you next week. I'm going to try to get some sleep. And stay warm. Have fun. Bye-bye.